Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be looking at how does the person on your mind view you and this connection. There are three groups to choose from. Group one is this Garnet, along with these cards. Group two is the blue Kyanite, along with these cards. And group three is this piece of amber, along with these cards. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, group one. You chose the Garnet, along with these cards, which I'll start with to get kind of an introduction, an overview to how the person on your mind views you and the connection. We have indecision, the thinking woman, commitment, and ally in disguise, discover the hard to find blessing. So with the thinking woman, you are definitely on their mind. You have made quite an impression upon this person. If this is somebody new, maybe that has just caught your attention, or rather it feels that you have caught their attention. With these two swans here, this could be quite mutual. A lot of things that have not been spoken yet, a lot of feelings, a desire to explore this connection further, but there's a little bit of indecision at this point in time as far as how to reach out, what to say. It feels that this person, with all of this kind of purple energy and this this deep kind of violet energy here in the ally in disguise, that they could be really kind of seeking guidance from their higher self as far as what to do in this situation, trusting in their instinct, trusting in their intuition, kind of scratching beneath the surface of the hesitation that they are feeling, conversations that they have had with you up to this point in time, or what they are able to observe about you, and really leaning into that space of this deep contemplation. Are they ready to take the next step in this situation? Are they ready to progress things forward? Are they ready to speak their truth, speak their heart in some way? And like we see here with the little butterfly on thinking woman, to transform this connection in some manner, to evolve the connection in some manner. This can be asking you out, This can be, again, declaring these deeper feelings for you, a desire to move toward commitment, a desire to kind of take things to the next level in whatever way that resonates for you, a desire for closeness. They see you as very similar to themselves in a lot of ways. It's bringing forth the idea of birds of a feather. They feel very drawn to you. There's definitely a kindred soul bond here, a soul connection between you and this individual that, it's made a very profound impact upon them. There's a deep energy of introspection here where, they may even, with this idea with the thinking woman holding, this book, and she's got this scroll and kind of this stack of books here. There could be a school connection with you and this person, or kind of a work connection. This can also talk about research that they are doing, maybe about soul connections, or again, sort of looking more deeply into sort of the nuance of conversations you've had up to this point, rereading old text messages or emails, even just kind of thinking back and replaying in their mind conversations or interactions they've had with you up to this point in time, and seeing. It almost feels like getting some wisdom out of these things, seeing these things for more than what meets the eye, really starting to decipher kind of this undercurrent of chemistry, this interest that they have in you. They find you to be very interesting, very intriguing. And there is this factor again of indecision to make these feelings known, to explore this further, perhaps some more time that they are being almost intuitively guided to take to explore their inner terrains further, what is required of them in order to step up and be consistent with you in this area of commitment. Are they ready for that? Maybe the two of you are single, or you have both just come out of relationships, or one or both of you has come out of relationships. It can be a variety of dynamics for you. And there's this energy of, are they ready to take this next step? Are they ready to open up to love again? Are they ready to explore kind of where these feelings and this undercurrent between the two of you, where can that lead? Very much drawn in your direction, again, very intrigued by you, thinking about you, seeing you from different perspective with fresh eyes, really starting to see some deeper potential in this situation between the two of you. This can also talk, though, about perhaps somebody from your past. If there's nobody new that you're considering, if you're watching this reading and the person on your mind is somebody that you were dealing with previously, this same energy can apply to, again, kind of this observation, this recognition that there is a desire for closeness, to move closer to you. The full moon on this card here can be very significant. It is a timeless reading, but on the day I am recording this reading, it is the full moon in Gemini. So today may be very significant. They may be very affected by this full moon. This can speak about illumination coming full circle. A little bit of indecision is starting to dissipate. It is going to be starting to wane. They may be moving closer in your direction, or closer into that point of wanting to reach out, wanting to somehow transform the narrative between the two of you in the weeks that follow. The upcoming new moon, which would be the new moon in Sagittarius, that can definitely, that fiery energy can really propel this person forward to making some kind of a decision, making some kind of change in this circumstance, a fresh start, a new beginning. Somebody who has really kind of taken this time apart even to kind of see the difficulties and the conflicts that you've faced together as kind of blessings in disguises. That at one point in time, kind of this internal conflict, this friction that they felt within them, feeling very drawn to you, and at the same time very confronted by some things that had been triggered within them energetically through the dynamic, things that you have mirrored to this person in terms of the potential of what they could evolve into, kind of best version of self sort of things that they weren't really prepared to fully embrace within themselves, or having a difficult time of recognizing within themselves, and then getting very, triggered to the point of kind of recoiling back into that comfort zone, that whatever vibration they were kind of used to sort of operating in. All of that is really shifting and changing. There's an idea with, again, kind of wanting to move out of a current sort of state of distance between the two of you, but really indecisive about how to do that. An energy of observation, internal observation in terms of looking back over memories, but then also it feels to be some kind of real-time, real-world observation, taking notes, taking in information, kind of processing all of that, really feeling and evaluating. It's a very silent energy, but a very observant energy. Trying not to make too much movement at this point in time, because they almost need more time to kind of think about things, to digest things, to process that further, and to really, investing a lot of this energy and time as far as how to evolve this situation, how to turn the difficulties that you faced or the current circumstances between you into the raw material, into that potential for change for the better. So there is this desire again to kind of with these, they're water lilies on this card, but it reminds me almost of lotus flowers. And just this idea of kind of transcending the emotional waters that you had faced with one another, some kind of difficulties, kind of pushing up through that heaviness, through that debris, like the lotus flower emerging out of that kind of muddy circumstance, out of that density, out of that lower vibration that the two of you were once in, and kind of this energy of sort of self-mastery, that in some way you have been very inspirational to this person, to kind of face some of their own shadows, to sort of ride those emotional waves, and what might have felt very intense, very overwhelming for them at one point in time. There's now a levity to this. They have kind of risen beyond some things, worked through some shadows and some triggers within themselves, or these things are becoming illuminated for them in a more profound way, where if they were really fighting this, they are starting to see that you are not the enemy in this circumstance, that the enemy, if there truly is one, was their own kind of unwillingness to face certain parts of themselves, to kind of stuff the emotions, compartmentalize, not deal with what was being triggered within them, not take an honest inventory of kind of the life that they had constructed for themselves. But it feels to be a very evolutionary energy, where they are again kind of seeing these difficulties as a blessing in disguise, seeing you as somebody that they would want to work with in partnership toward evolving at the soul level, evolving what has occurred between the two of you up to this point in this connection, and evolving their understanding and participation in a different kind of love, a more equitable kind of love, moving out of this energy of very uncertain about which direction to go into, and pivoting into this place of closeness, this inner kind of union, rippling out into this desire for some kind of union or reunion with you in the material sense, even to just talk about things, even to just explore that, see what is possible, see what potential exists, change that has occurred for them deep within, and therefore in that changed energy, this desire to almost try again, or to see if the two of you can really almost take these kind of these thoughts or these epiphanies or these realizations, and apply that in some material way, into kind of working to repair this connection, working to rebuild this, working towards kind of honoring one another on a more deep level, or just participating with this connection more. This is really something where they are viewing you again. If this is someone from your past, it's the birds of the feather energy. It's this very balanced energy. It's things within themselves that they were really ashamed of, or not wanting to recognize or to accept. They are seeing you as kind of having cultivated this energy of self-acceptance within you, and it has really urged them in that direction of kind of following suit, kind of going through that same mechanism within themselves. And this is this interest in kind of changing direction. You have really helped them to come full circle in some way, to face some things, some uncomfortable truths about themselves, and to really kind of get this momentum, this shift and change initiated, to kind of work through some heaviness that they had been holding within and that had really been spurred by your interactions or the circumstances between you in the past. So I'm going to get a little bit of tarot to get some clarification, some more depth about all of this, about how the person on your mind is viewing you in this connection right now. Okay, so we have Wheel of Fortune, which is mutable energy, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. Ten of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The High Priestess, which is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And Six of Wands, so more fire energy. So this Wheel of Fortune is really bringing to mind, again, this idea with the full moon here of coming full circle in some way. They are viewing you from a fresh perspective. They are viewing this situation, if this is someone from your past, with this desire to kind of turn the page, to move into the next season of what is possible in this situation. What might have been very triggering, very repelling to them before, very repellent. They are now finding themselves kind of magnetized in, drawn back in. With the High Priestess, that ties into that energy of kind of that crown chakra, that third eye chakra, that intuitive sense, that intuitive knowing, being very drawn back in your direction. A desire with the Ten of Wands and Six of Wands to really alleviate some burden, unspoken words, things that have occurred between the two of you in the past, and a desire to have victory in that sense, to kind of clear the air between the two of you. And even here on the third eye, on the High Priestess, we've got this yin yang symbol. So that really speaks to that balance. It is coming full circle from that period of indecision, which way to go, into that kind of closeness and harmony, recognizing you not as the enemy, but in fact as their ally. This circumstance, as difficult and confusing as it has been, as triggering as this journey has been, they are seeing this as a blessing, almost a homecoming to themselves that would not have been possible. This kind of depth of self-awareness, the changes and the shifts energetically that have happened within them, and many ways even with Wheel of Fortune in their life in general. None of this would have been possible had it not been for kind of the ignition, the spark between the two of you, this very precise recipe of circumstances, this perfect chemistry between the two of you that created this very, again, profound change, it feels, within both of you. They're looking to you as this example, as this inspiration of kind of moving through those, that kind of pyre within oneself, kind of the changes that are necessary internally and externally, and kind of moving through that, rising through that, using difficult circumstances or disappointments as kind of that fuel for change, for personal change and growth. So they are very inspired and very interested in kind of almost giving this another chance, but from a more balanced perspective, wanting to open up, interested in opening up to seeing, if kind of the formula is right between you at this point in time, if this time apart, if this internal kind of alchemy has yielded such circumstances that it is possible for a different result between the two of you. If this is somebody new, somebody who's just caught your eye, somebody that you're just starting to get to know, or things are very fresh, a new person that you are dealing with, then this can also really talk about this intuitive knowing, these kind of nudges that they are getting, that this connection is worth exploring in greater detail. There is this desire with Wheel of Fortune to again, move to a greater level of commitment. And with the Ten of Wands, it may be very burdensome to kind of hold this back or withhold this from you. You may even be able to kind of sense that energetically, that there could almost be this awkwardness, almost that they've gone very silent in some way, or something has really shifted, something feels very off in the connection. And this may be something that is very burdensome to you. It's an uncertainty. You're not really sure, are things getting ready to fall apart, or Are things getting ready to kind of take on new form? Is it getting ready to kind of move into this next chapter? And it almost feels that the energetic silence from this person is that energy of withdrawal into themselves. Really tapping into that higher self and that intuition to explore. Honestly, are they ready to take this next step? It feels that they value you very much. They value the time that you spend together. This connection, the dynamic between the two of you in whatever way it exists at this point in time is very intriguing. It's very fascinating to them. They see you as somebody who is very wise, very balanced within yourself. You help to bring this person to a greater awareness of the potential of balance within them. You complement each other very well in some subtle ways. And, to kind of be at this kind of pivot point, this liminal space between where things are at currently and being pulled by this desire to kind of expand things, to express something, some hidden truths, some deeper feelings that they may have had for you for some time. It almost feels that it's very difficult for them to kind of carry on appearances at this point in time, to hold back on this truth that they want to kind of speak. But again, this intuitive sense of just needing to kind of sit with this a little more and explore this. Are they really ready for this? What comes with this? What are the implications of this? There's a desire to have victory in this circumstance. There's a desire to express something and kind of shift things to the next level, but in a way which will be sustainable for the two of you. There is a desire out of respect for you and respect for themselves as well, to not overcommit themselves or overgive of themselves, or, wanting to just be kind of measured in all of this, not leap too quickly in, still kind of testing the boundaries of their own comfort zone, and wanting to, again, be very cognizant of you, very cognizant of your heart, very aware of kind of what the two of you have at this point in time, if this is friendship or even just kind of an amicable, connection between colleagues, or maybe you are students together, and there's, again, this desire to preserve that foundation, what you already have that exists between the two of you, but then explore kind of this deeper sort of blossoming of what is possible, but that they are needing to almost take some time to kind of factor in how to do this in a very organic and measured way, so that the two of you aren't kind of like jumping into something too quickly. You aren't kind of moving too fast at a pace that will not kind of allow for, again, sort of the intricate creation of the next kind of layers and steps. But there is a desire to see kind of what more can happen out of this situation. They feel very, very confident, very, very strongly about this kind of pull in your direction. There is this certainty that this connection, this budding connection, or whatever exists between the two of you, is worth exploring in greater detail. You are somebody that they want to keep in their life, and they're being very measured at this point in time, again, because they want to make sure that the timing is right, and that kind of what they express, it comes in such a way that it is sustainable in the long term, that they are not kind of delivering promises they can't keep, that they're not overcommitting themselves, or that they are not moving too quickly. And so the intuition, that higher self, this kind of nudge, even looking for signs, seems to be factoring in very strongly at this point in time as far as what their plan of action is moving forward. So again, any kind of awkwardness or like a shift and a change, almost like a pause in the energy, kind of this tension where you can sense that something's different, something's up, but you're not quite sure what that means or what that's going to evolve into. It really speaks to, again, that kind of that element of going within, of introspecting, of being profoundly affected on some level by what exists between the two of you at this point in time, or what has really been sparked or awakened within them. This idea of victory is this kind of long-term planning. It's this long-term goal, wanting to make change that is sustainable in the long term between the two of you, and to, at the very least, through these changes, be able to preserve the integrity of what you have established between the two of you up to this point. So I'm going to get some guidance for you now from Spirit about this situation. Okay, and we have synergy. Your heart and your dreams blossom through fulfilling symbiotic partnerships. So that is a beautiful confirmation of this energy of balance and, really working together. The higher self, the intuition, really working in partnership with forward momentum, with action in a material sense. That this period of pause, this liminal space where, something has really shifted, whether this is a new person that you're dealing with or somebody from the past, that there has been kind of a pivot point. There is a desire to work in harmony, work in tandem toward whatever is able to blossom kind of going forward in this situation. So you're really being guided to kind of follow suit in this energy of almost pause, or this sort of anticipation of something, but you're not sure what. Now is really the time to kind of look within and see, what do you need emotionally? What are you able and willing to give to this circumstance? It can be very easy to almost get caught up in kind of the rush of feelings, that sort of long-term potential. And sometimes we sort of miss, or we overlook, kind of that day-to-day action, those consistent steps that are needed, all those little details that will kind of be woven together in order to create the structure and foundation necessary for that kind of ultimate horizon that we are working toward, that kind of long-term or overarching goal or desire that we have in a circumstance or situation. So you're really guided at this point in time to kind of, as this person has done, really come back home to self, really sit in this, really take this time to introspect and search, because it does feel that change is coming. And so now is a time for you to really prepare yourself for that, become very clear, get very excited about what can possibly blossom in this circumstance, whether this is somebody new, whether this is somebody, that you've been in kind of a difficult or sort of a back and forth situation with, and that change can be a new beginning which starts. It can be change in the form of the two of you having some kind of interaction or conversation, which really helps to kind of sew up the loose ends in this circumstance, so you're able to kind of shut the door on it and move forward without all that heaviness and without all that burden. It really varies in terms of, again, looking deep within. What do you want out of this circumstance? What are you willing to give? What do you expect from this person, from partnerships in general? What have your experiences up to this point in time? What has that really taught you? What is that internal wisdom and that knowing of kind of your worth, what you are willing to accept, what you are capable of giving. And so this, kind of working with this, as much as there's this urge to kind of speed things up or to really kind of dig and peek and wonder kind of what can happen, what can this turn into, just really sitting in the moment, being excited about that future, being mindful of the past and kind of the road that has brought you to this point, but enjoying almost this anticipation. It almost feels like it's kind of the energy of, when you're a kid, if you celebrate Christmas, if that was kind of part of your tradition, and as it kind of approached that Christmas season and the presents would start to kind of show up under the tree, and there's this sense of anticipation, what's in there, even like birthday presents. If you don't celebrate Christmas, everyone in some way has some kind of frame of reference for a gift that has your name on it, that you're not really sure what's inside. It's wrapped very nicely, or you just have this sense that it's coming. And there's this almost this kind of urgency to want to peek in, to want to kind of look and find out and sort of speed up the time in order to get to that place where you're able to just kind of, dig deeply in and see what's in store, what is here. And so you're really guided to, honor that part of yourself. That kind of excitement is that fuel that will help bring you to this next level. But then part of that is also, just sitting in the very present moment, allowing things to develop at a very organic pace as they will, and that by allowing things to unfold naturally in this circumstance, in this situation, checking in with yourself, becoming very clear about, whatever this gift is that's being presented to you, how are you going to use that? How is this circumstance and this opportunity how will this best serve kind of your highest good, and the highest good of everybody involved in this circumstance, whether it's closure, whether it's a new kind of blossoming connection that takes off, whether this is reconciliation with someone from your past, whatever the circumstance is, how are you going to do things differently this time? How are you going to make the most of this opportunity? Becoming very clear about that is really kind of, again, the guidance at this point in time to use this time very wisely. Use this time to kind of co-create with yourself, get very clear about these things, your boundaries and your requirements, so that when that kind of wheel turns, that sort of decision is made, things really sort of pick up the pace and movement happens in this circumstance. You have already become very clear within yourself as far as how you are able and willing to show up moving forward in this circumstance. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got V, Z, C, H, N, L, T, X, and W. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. We chose the blue Kyanite along with these cards, which I will start with to get kind of a general overview, sort of an introduction to how the person on your mind views you and this connection. We have Storm Warning, Cornucopia, the Sacred Woman, and North Star, flip your inner light switch. So this person sees you as an alchemist. They, in some way, whether this is somebody new, somebody that maybe has caught your attention, that you're just starting to get to know, or that kind of maybe is in your life as a friend or a coworker, somebody kind of in your community or in your peripheral, or whether this is somebody that you were dealing with in the past, kind of a no contact situation, or things kind of shifted and changed between the two of you. They are aware, either literally or energetically, of some difficulties that you have faced with this idea of storm warning, kind of this chaos, this disruption, some kind of a transformation energy, and you have really made the most of the circumstances, almost the cards that you have been dealt. They are seeing you in this energy of abundance. You have successfully transmuted your life, or your outlook, your vibe, from kind of a lack mentality or like a heaviness, a very obvious kind of sense of deficit within you. Something, maybe this is even kind of like hurt or grief or heartbreak that was written all over your face, it was written all over your energy. And they are seeing you as having really shifted that. You have shifted your focus, you have shifted your mindset. And through that very crucial, almost this idea of like switching the inner light switch, flipping that switch, by changing that narrative, changing that focus. They are seeing you as somebody who, just your whole aura has changed, your whole demeanor has changed, the energy you're putting out is changed. You may also be really, in a season of personal abundance, things going really well for you professionally. Just even the way that you are interacting with people. People are very nice to you. People are very courteous to you. You are drawing into you a collective and a collection of almost, very helpful and supportive people. They may be noticing that, even kind of as your dynamics with friends and family, dynamics with clients or with customers or with coworkers or, again, like friends or people within your community, as this shift has taken place within you, the way in which you're interacting with others has shifted as well. And it's a different vibration that you're giving off. It's a vibration of success. It's a vibration of competency. It's a vibration of being very satisfied, being very capable, a lot of inner strength. There's all this kind of like yellow energy here, which is talking about, like solar plexus chakra. So very much standing in your purpose, standing in your power. You've successfully taken your power back and weathered some storms. And it is very inspirational to this person. They are very much drawn to your light. You may be drawing a lot of things to your light at this point in time, but they are seeing you as somebody who is very discerning, very wise. With the sacred woman here, this can talk about coming into alignment with your higher self, with your spiritual self. This heart here, this green heart on her hand, this can really speak about, again, this energy of a glow up, kind of this heart chakra activation or opening that you have had, that you are living with heart-centered awareness. You are following the path to your highest good. Again, a lot may have shifted for you in your life, and it is something which is it's very luminous to behold. If this is somebody who is new, they are very intrigued by you. They're very intrigued by your light. They want to get to know you more. They see you as a very bountiful person, as a very bountiful energy. Again, even just maybe energetically, or this could be what you have going on in your life, to where they feel that you are somebody that they could build with. They see you as somebody who has a lot of wisdom and knowledge to impart. They recognize in whatever ways that they are able to, that you have been on some kind of a sacred journey. You have been on some kind of a soul journey, on some kind of a spiritual path, that you are really operating at a very high vibration, and it is very inspirational to them. It draws them to you. If this is somebody from your past, somebody from that you're in no contact with, or things have been kind of difficult with the two of you, they are also recognizing literally in terms of what they are able to observe, maybe what they have heard about you from other people, or what they are even just how they are perceiving your energy has really shifted, and it is drawing them in. There may be a lot of kind of internal turmoil and conflict and chaos within them, of kind of a fear of missing out that is sort of drawing them in closer, or even this kind of this storminess within them, if this is someone from the past where they had overlooked something about you, they'd overlooked a gift within you, or some element of your energy that might have been obscured. It may have been kind of muted or understated at one point in time, and there's a sense of this person now being on the outside of your life looking in, feeling that they almost cheated themselves out of this opportunity to really grow and prosper with you. And so, kind of, again, viewing you with a little bit of an energy kind of jealousy, but at the same time, it almost feels like healthy competition in a way, that they are feeling kind of left behind by you, but this is kind of a motivation within themselves to kind of ride out this storminess within them, to face some things within themselves that had, kind of been of that sort of kind of dense vibration, or things within themselves that had really caused that dense vibration within you, had generated that heartbreak, had generated that disappointment, and kind of facing their own shadows at this point in time. A recognition that, as much as they are drawn towards you, that in the energy they currently are embodying, that what they have to offer, it's not what you're looking for anymore. They are recognizing that they are not vibrating at the same frequency as you. They are seeing you in your power. They are seeing you, having recognized your worth, that you are, following your calling. Maybe you are on a very spiritual path, or you have kind of reshaped your life, and that is your life now, is that kind of spiritual self. And it's something where they almost wonder, what do they have to bring to the table? They see you at a banquet, at a feast of your own making. The universe has really set that table for you, and it is now kind of your season to shine. It feels a little bit, again, if this is someone from the past, that they are almost looking at it like this might be their karma to just kind of watch from afar. This might be sort of the consequence or the punishment that they have to endure at this point in time. It feels that they're taking it kind of to the extreme. Again, that sort of lack mentality, that almost you standing in your power and you shining your light very unapologetically and very bright is almost highlighting for themselves, and almost making them a little bit kind of fearful and wanting to sort of cower away into themselves, feeling very kind of jealous, or just very down on themselves at this point in time, for maybe having not used this situation to their benefit, having not done the work on themselves, feeling again very left behind, very far behind, wishing that they could kind of be there with you to celebrate, but recognizing that it has taken hard work for you to get where you are. This didn't just come overnight. It didn't just come with a flip of a switch. It was something that was really this arduous journey. And so there's almost this kind of tandem energy of sort of jealousy and respect, envy and respect, and wanting that and longing for that. So if this is somebody, again, kind of new, somebody that you don't have a romantic history with, somebody who, even at this point in time, it hasn't opened up into that realm of romance yet, this is something where they are very intrigued by you, that you in some way, something about your vibration or who you are, you fill this person with a sense of personal abundance. They feel very fulfilled by the time that you spend together. Again, you've got a lot of wisdom to impart. You really help to kind of bring clarity to this person in a lot of ways, maybe in conversations that you've had, in guidance that you give, in how you have shared your personal story. This could even be somebody who just kind of observes you sort of from the outskirts of your life in any way that you are sort of sharing your journey, sharing your struggles, sharing where you're at, sharing this, this passion that you have really harnessed within yourself. It's very inspirational to them. to really kind of move through their own uncertainty, move through their own kind of period of chaos and upheaval, and things really shifting and changing, and to hold that vision of what is on the other side, that they are seeing you as a very bright light. They may see you, if they are familiar with the language of light worker, they definitely would identify you as the embodiment of a light worker. You are that living light here in the flesh. They have a lot of respect for you, for what you have cultivated for yourself, for the struggles that you have endured that have kind of brought you to this place of personal empowerment. They're very they feel very proud for you, very proud of you, and it's this urge and this desire to keep reaching for that same kind of sense of worth and inner fulfillment within themselves. There's a desire to almost have the same kind of abundance that you have, but it's again kind of this almost like a healthy competition. Not that they are kind of begrudging you of anything, but it's inspirational for them to kind of go within, to do that work, to face those storms and shadows, that you are kind of that example, that on the other side of that very sacred journey, that journey of spirit, that journey deeply within the heart, on the other side of kind of those mountains and those challenges, is that kind of energy of ascension. It is that energy of wisdom. It is that energy of certainty and purpose, and walking from the heart space and in alignment with one's kind of destiny and sort of true self. So again, with North Star, very much an inspiration, very much a beacon, very much drawn towards your light, drawn to even get to know you more. If this is somebody new, there's this urge or this draw to exchange with you, exchange conversations, maybe share a meal of food with you, kind of exchange this nourishing energy of contact with one another, with the idea of cornucopia. A lot of conversations that they want to have with you, an exchange of ideas, a desire to spend more time with you, quality time with you. If it's someone you just started seeing, there's a desire for more. They see this in the long term as having a lot of potential for abundance. That not only do you really tick off a lot of boxes for them in terms of, physical attraction, but they find you, very kind of spiritually attractive as well. They're very much drawn to you at the soul level, at the energetic level. They feel very uplifted, very fulfilled, very nourished by the time that they have spent with you up to this point in time. And there is this desire to kind of invest more on their part, to continue to kind of water these seeds between the two of you, and to experience the bounty of what can be created between the two of you in the future, not just in terms of like a physical connection, like a physical commitment, like a relationship with one another, but there in some way is almost this draw that they have about a spiritual significance of this connection. The two of you not having met each other by accident, you help to really give them perspective as well about difficulties they may have faced, disappointments they may have faced in their life or in love, and kind of that rocky road which has led them to this point. You feel to be a beacon or a light along their journey that is really helping them to kind of push forward through difficulties, and is making them feel very satisfied with where they are at this point in their life, and very excited for what the future can hold for themselves individually, and also in terms of what is possible in this situation with you. It feels very sacred. It feels very spiritual. It feels this situation resonates with them. You resonate with them at a deep soul level. There's a soul knowing with that North Star, again, of a significance of this connection, of your paths not crossing by accident. The two of you really having a lot to impart and teach one another, and really, that resonates with them in a very positive manner, in a very nourishing manner. There's a lot of reciprocity here, an equal give and take, and a desire on their part to kind of give more to you, give more to this connection. So I'm going to get a little bit of tarot to get some further clarification about this for you. Okay, we've got the King of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Five of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The Fool, which is Aries. And Six of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So you really help this person to surrender with the Five of Swords and this man who's just kind of laying here in the midst of all of these swords, the loss, the defeat, kind of the lack mentality, and energy of struggle, whether this is somebody from the past or somebody that is kind of new to you, new in your experiences, or is, kind of going to make that move to sort of deepen the bond or expand the bond between the two of you. They are viewing you as somebody that is helping them to kind of move beyond some heartbreak, move beyond some disappointment within themselves, move beyond an energy of lack into kind of the totality of love with the King of Cups, the epitome of love, that heart-centered awareness, that very sacred journey. You help to really gift this person perspective that on the other side of loss, no matter how dire circumstances may be, is this potential to really kind of cultivate and find one's purpose, the almost experience of lack of love that may have been kind of radiating out in one's external environment, that it is really a journey home, a journey, back to center to become that love one is seeking. They see you as that. They see you as kind of in this energy of having mastered something, having moved to a place of again, kind of transcending or ascending a certain series of circumstances, what they know of your history, what they know of your backstory and your experiences, or even if they don't know anything, just they can sense something energetically within you. And it feels to be a very intuitive person, whether they themselves resonate as being psychic or intuitive or an empath. It's neither here nor there. It's the fact of the matter is that they can sense this, they can perceive that, even if it's just at a subconscious level. They recognize that this kind of stance that you are in right now, this light that you hold, you did not get there without kind of profound struggle. And it's something which gives them a lot of respect for you. They have a lot of admiration for you. There's a desire to emulate that. There's an inspirational energy here. They see you as a leader, as somebody who really leads with their heart, and it is drawing them towards you. Six of Pentacles, speaks of this interest in giving. When they think of kind of developing the situation between the two of you, with the Fool, taking that chance, taking that leap of faith, allowing the situation to blossom into a new kind of dynamic or dimension between the two of you, it fills them with a lot of satisfaction. This is not if this is a new person that is kind of come into your awareness or is wanting to kind of take things to the next level, the idea of investing more into this connection, it fills them with a sense of satisfaction that far outweighs kind of this fear of loss, any kind of a hesitation that maybe sort of have held them back up to this point in time, or may have been kind of a classic sort of experience in other circumstances. This could be somebody who has a history of kind of missed opportunities because they let fear get in the way. This circumstance, something that you radiate out, this sense of, kind of personal empowerment that is very inspirational and very reassuring at the same time. You help to quell a lot of those fears within them. They feel motivated to take action personally in their life in some way, or in terms of kind of bringing this situation into the next kind of layer or level of what is possible. If this is somebody from your past, somebody with kind of a no contact circumstance, or someone kind of on the outskirts, again, there is that energy of sort of this recognition that a shift needs to happen within themselves. You make them acutely aware of this internal kind of loss, this internal struggle. You inspire this person to surrender all of that, to begin that journey with the Fool, to take that leap of faith and to invest in themselves, to give themselves the gift of self-healing in order to, again, kind of transcend this sort of deficit within themselves, this kind of heaviness or this sense of loss, a recognition that they have, that they too must kind of go on this journey work to self, giving themselves that love, becoming that love that they are seeking outside of themselves. And at that point in time, they will be equipped to kind of experience and to embody that same kind of bountiful energy that you hold within yourself. So it's a very inspirational energy for both kind of situations, sort of a new person, somebody from the past. Really in both circumstances, they are viewing you as someone who is very inspirational to this person as an individual and to others, about the power of new beginnings, taking that leap of faith into the unknown, and sort of the blessings that can result from really investing in self, really kind of diving deep, digging in, moving through a state of loss into kind of this abundance mindset, into this satisfaction mindset, the giving of love to oneself, instead of just almost overgiving to others, that there's an equitable energy here. The investment in self that you have done has really paid off in a major way, and that is very obvious. It is seen, it is known. Again, kind of this leader energy, this way shower energy. You are this light, you are this inspiration that on the other side of kind of turmoil and chaos and loss is the ability for kind of fresh perspective, new beginnings, and moving toward an energy of satisfaction. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit now about this situation. Okay, and we have bird's eye view. Fly high and observe from above. Here you'll find a new perspective, greater understanding, and compassion. So this is really talking about if this is someone from your past who may be looking on with a little bit of envy, kind of some storminess, your sort of glow up and your abundance is really highlighting for them the work that they need to do within themselves in order to kind of reach that. Anything you might be picking up or perceiving energetically from that, a density, or even what you might construe as kind of a sharp or negative energy from this person. Having compassion for that, understanding, and not taking it personal, but understanding that kind of that journey into self, that energy of surrender, it often does not come without struggle. Setting those healthy boundaries, setting those barriers, kind of clearing that energy from you, returning it to this person with love, and appreciating how difficult of a journey it was for you, how frightening and lonely it felt at times. Understanding that on a certain level, whether they are conscious of it or not, this person is experiencing those same kind of vibrations. Continuing to kind of move forward with your life, and if they are able to do the work, also that kind of bigger perspective that the way that things are at this point in time does not necessarily dictate how they will always be, but honoring yourself, honoring kind of how far you have come, taking time to really applaud yourself, and holding those standards, not settling for any less than you deserve, recognizing where you've been, what you have overcome, and also being able to really decipher kind of repeating cycles. Maybe if this is someone from the past who then tries to return, but they haven't really done the work, standing in that confidence, in that inner knowing of where you are, and energies and influences that serve your highest good versus things that almost may make you regress or kind of have you sort of stuck in place or questioning yourself, releasing these things with love if necessary, allowing this person to kind of go through that dark night of the soul, that process of kind of internal alchemy within themselves, understanding that just as you have kind of alchemized yourself, it is possible for them as well, but everyone can only do the work for themselves. So as much as there may be kind of this urge to heal or to help, or to even just be very kind of black and white in your thinking of what is possible, stepping into that area of gray where it is, there is potential, there is possibility for personal transformation. People do it every day. It is not easy. It is not for everyone, but it is possible. And kind of when you stand in that liminal space, you alleviate from yourself any kind of weightedness, any kind of resentment that may pull down your vibration. You have worked too hard to come to this place in your life, to allow kind of the distortions, or almost somebody who has been refusing to do the work and maybe kind of throwing a tantrum or kind of digging their heels in, or still operating at that lower vibration, to allow that to dim your shine. We can only allow people to dim our light. They, without our permission, do not have that ability. So again, kind of stepping into that place of self-empowerment, knowing your worth, knowing your value, and not being afraid to kind of put something to the side, or to decline an offer if someone comes back in and they are not demonstrating change, that is almost for the highest good, not only of yourself, but of that person, and ultimately in what is possible in this circumstance. In terms of for, a new person that's coming in, and it might feel, very unexpected, kind of the nature of this person. It may feel very overwhelming, just how much they're kind of drawn to your light. You may have been kind of on a very sort of personal journey of alchemy on yourself, and it may be kind of startling to have somebody come in, or you may still be kind of wary and guarded, again, of not wanting to kind of repeat same cycles, repeat same patterns and habits. This idea of the bird's eye view is, again, encouraging you to honor how far you have come on your journey, recognizing that you are different, the light you emit is different, and while you may also attract things that are not necessarily of a like vibration, that are a test, that are something which would only kind of drain from you, would cling to you rather than being reciprocal, trusting that not everybody that comes across your path at this point, not everyone who is drawn towards you, or who reaches out, or kind of makes their intentions known, or extends energy or interest to you, is of that kind of that one-sided vibration, that you have been very giving to yourself, and you have now stepped into a season of really, attracting other givers. So looking at things from a higher perspective, again, honoring your boundaries, honoring the work that you have done on yourself, keeping the bar set very high, not lowering your standards, but allowing people to rise to the occasion to meet you, being mindful of any kind of residual almost layers of pessimism, or being overly cautious, or even overly paranoid about, the past kind of repeating itself, maybe even in a situation with a new person, taking that wider perspective, trusting in your journey, in how far you have come, and that innate wisdom, that connection with your higher self that you have cultivated, and just allowing yourself to really enjoy sort of the fruits of that, the abundance, the magnetization that you have cultivated within yourself and are drawing in from your external circumstances, enjoying experiences with new people, enjoying kind of stepping into a new way of doing and being and exchanging energy with others, and really trusting, again, in that higher perspective, in your ability to vet potential partners, and trusting in kind of the bounty and what is wanting to unfold maybe between you and a new person who is expressing interest or making a move towards you. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. I've got A, G, X, W, Q, and Y. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. We chose this piece of amber along with these cards, which I will start with to get kind of an overview or an introduction about how the person on your mind is viewing you and this connection. We have 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, the thinking man, creativity, and you are invited. Suit up, show up, and open up. So it really feels like you give this person a new perspective on their future or the horizon that they were moving towards. If this is a new person, somebody that you just have recently met, just started dealing with, maybe are talking to, this could be a coworker, this could be a friend, this could be somebody in some kind of a shared or mutual community with you. Something has really stirred within them, within their heart space. They are thinking of you as somebody that they want to explore this romantic potential with. I'm really drawn to all of these spirals here. This is reminding me almost of the Wheel of Fortune. So this desire to kind of evolve this connection further. They see you as somebody who could really help them to experience a higher level love than they have known up to this point in time. If this is somebody who has been single or has just kind of been, dating, keeping things casual, there is this desire to almost move this connection to the next level, to explore monogamy with you, to explore being exclusive, or if this is someone that you haven't dated yet, there is this desire to start to spend more time with one another, to evolve the connection in that arena, moving out of just friendly conversation into kind of discussions of a more emotional nature, experiences of a more emotional or romantic nature. There's also this little kind of a spiral here on the heart chakra in this card, and this really speaks to this heart chakra awakening. A lot of feelings of romance and love that have blossomed for you, that are developing for you. There's a certainty almost. For a lot of you, this can even apply to somebody who feels on some level you might be the one that they have been looking for, the one who has reawakened their heart, or, as they've kind of been in this process of elimination, of really dating people, exploring their options. Something has pinged within them and they have set their sights on you as something that they want to explore. They want to open up. They want to show you more of themselves. They want to show you more of their heart. They want to declare these feelings. They're thinking a lot about you, thinking a lot about what the future can hold, this clarity, this possibility. Again, kind of moving away from one direction that they had been heading, and you present to them this very kind of unexpected and interesting kind of alternative, this new horizon, this new future. You are something that has really caught them off guard. Their feelings for you have almost burst forth in a very unexpected manner. Something may have happened just recently. This could even talk about time that you've spent together, a conversation you have had, something that has shifted energetically within them, something they have seen about you or in you or while with you that has really changed their perspective and how they think of you, how they think of what is possible here, and how they think of sort of the direction, or maybe how they had almost compartmentalized this situation. So this could be somebody like a friend who has now developed romantic feelings. They have caught feelings for you. They have become aware of this, a deeper level of kind of admiration and respect and interest that they have for you. It's a new world that has blossomed for them. There's this desire to invite you closer into their world, closer into their heart space, maybe even invite you out on a date. So they may be thinking at this point in time of some kind of communication that invites you to explore this new aspect or layer of feelings between the two of you. a desire to discuss future plans on some level, or to really, kind of have those discussions about, what would you think about if we got married? What would you think of it if we moved in together? What would you think if we, kind of explored our feelings for one another? What would you think if we kind of moved out of the bounds of friendship and really discussed kind of these blossoming feelings between the two of us, or feelings that have been there for quite some time that have not been discussed up to this point. There is this energy of evolution here, of wanting to, again, kind of move things to the next level, and a lot of thought that is going into how to do that, how to make that declaration, words that are wanting to be spoken. This almost feels like somebody who wants to say, I love you, for the first time, or to in some way, convey those loving feelings, to transcend this connection, to evolve this connection, to move it into the next kind of layer of experience, who is ready to kind of take things to the next step. But in an energy of not, it feels like someone who wants to take the lead, who is really thinking about expressing themselves or declaring something, but wants to kind of like know how you feel about all of this. Doesn't just want to kind of be the one to sort of pivot and shift things, but there's this desire to co-create with you, sort of a mutual horizon, dreams that the two of you can kind of construct and work towards together, working in harmony, working in tandem with one another, to transcend almost the boundaries of the path that you two have been on up to this point, and to move in a new direction with one another. If this is somebody from your past, somebody in a no contact situation, or where, it's kind of been back and forth between the two of you, then this can really talk about a shift that has happened within them, some feelings that they may have been denying or avoiding that have now really burst forth. Something, again, that they have seen about you, a shift that has happened energetically for them, and they are thinking about this connection in a new way. There's a desire to renew this. There's a desire to give in a more loving manner, to again maybe invite you somewhere, to show up, to show back up in your world, perhaps very unexpectedly, but a lot of thought that is going into that about the timing and the manner of this. A little bit of fear or hesitation, which might be kind of holding them back or making them procrastinate at this point in time. But this is an overwhelming energy of, again, with open up and the fourth chakra and the thinking man, and kind of this imagery of moving off in this other direction. There's a desire to create something different, that they are no longer interested in kind of looping around the same cycle of avoidance, of running from this situation, any kind of like a blocked energy, a closed off energy, anything that they may have really had the communication shut down. There is this interest in bypassing that, in opening things back up, creating some kind of expression that at least opens up the possibility of the two of you working things out in a creative manner, co-creating, moving toward a different horizon with one another. Evolution that has taken place within them, a softening which has taken place within them, a reframing of their perspective of who you are to them, the feelings that they hold for you, and sort of the future that they at one time imagined was sort of inevitable between the two of you. There's now this new perspective. There's a renewed interest, a new desire. And this feels to be something just not so much based on necessarily anything substantial that has changed within you, although, your process of kind of healing, of becoming that love you have been seeking, this self-love journey that you have been on, it very easily could have really initiated something within this person from afar. It could have sparked something. It could have inspired something. But this feels very independent of that. This feels very much that it has organically kind of shifted within this person. This is something which has been very closed off for some point in time, that they were almost ignoring. They were not wanting to look at. And through almost a process of divine intervention, or maybe just other kind of shifts, other work that has happened in their life in other ways, other kind of blocks or barriers that they have cleared. In a roundabout way, it has also freed something up from within them that had them blocked off to the potential of what was possible here. They have become more loving towards themselves in a healthy manner, and it has freed their ability to perceive love in all forms. Their attention has been brought back to you. Some kind of, again, this epiphany or this awareness, this energy of no longer wanting to run from this, wanting to come back around, wanting to lean into this. I'm really drawn to this image here with the woman, and her head is kind of tilted to the right, and it almost feels like she's getting this very profound download through the left side, this receptivity that is coming in. So again, maybe things that have happened energetically within this person through just their own ascension journey, somebody who has really surrendered to that process, somebody who has come out of some kind of dark night energy within themselves and is now ready to step back out into the light, somebody who has evolved, who has metamorphosized in their kind of awareness maybe of blocks against love that they had that caused them to sabotage or close off or kind of push this connection away in the past. There's now this desire to kind of open up, seeing things from a different perspective, seeing kind of their role in things, recognizing also through this kind of other healing that has taken place, this other work that has taken place, how they were kind of standing in their own way, standing in the way of their own blessings in the form of this connection in the past, and a desire to communicate something, to shift something, to show up to you in this kind of renewed energy, to change how you think of them, to change your impression, your last impression, or to provide you with some kind of clarity about what's been happening behind the scenes, behind these closed doors, in this period of silence and separation, to provide you with some kind of a vindication or kind of a reassurance that the changes that you've experienced energetically and within yourself have not been one-sided. There's also been a shift within this person, an evolution within this person, and then kind of gearing up and moving into that energy of wanting to evolve this connection in some way. So I'm going to get some tarot to get a little more clarification about this for you. Okay, we have the Ten of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The Eight of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The Magician, which is Gemini. And the Page of Cups, so more water energy. So this is definitely speaking about a love offer that this person wants to make, some kind of a gesture, some kind of an invitation or a declaration, whether this is a new person or somebody from the past, with the Page of Cups and the Eight of Wands, this communication that wants to come in, an expression, opening up at the heart level, wanting to shift this situation in the direction of kind of that wish fulfillment in a material sense. You bring them a lot of personal satisfaction. They are very, the feelings that may have grown for you or that they are now becoming aware of. It is almost this overflowing abundance of love that they have for you. You make sense to them. There is this desire to explore what can develop out of this situation now. What new kind of horizon that may have seemed very out of reach is now a little more attainable. The Magician is really talking about manifestation and kind of some changes and shifts that they have manifested within them, this desire to manifest as well, this happiness on earth with you, to not just keep this in the realm of sort of feelings that are held within. This is an interest in doing something with this, pivoting this situation forward, opening up to this next layer, this next next evolution, this next development. A lot that has really been communicated to them from their own heart space. And this is somebody who is listening to their heart, who is acting upon that, who is coming forth and wanting to come forth in this very balanced energy, this very self-aware energy with the magician, with all of the tools. They have thought about this. They are thinking about this. The practical matters, how they feel emotionally. They're taking into mind kind of their logical mind, their experiences of love in the past, kind of what worked, what didn't, what they want moving forward, coupled with this spark, this just kind of draw towards you, this intrigue or this certainty that you are the one, or you might be the one. And it feels like something that is, again, kind of motivating them to create change, to make something in a material sense. In a lot of ways, you are a dream come true. You are this wish fulfillment. If it's someone from the past, they couldn't really appreciate that or see that before, because they were most likely closed off in a major way to love of themselves first and foremost, which clouded their ability to recognize love embodied in the form of another. It inhibited their ability to participate with that in a reciprocal way. Something has shifted within them, and there is now this recognition of who you are or what you represent, and a desire to create something, create change, create a fresh start, to deliver some kind of communication that comes from the heart, that delivers some kind of truth, so that the two of you can maybe work toward that horizon that you at one point in time had been headed toward, had envisioned, but had kind of gotten off track with. If this is a new person, somebody who, you're just kind of entering into romance with for the first time, or somebody who's still in kind of that friend zone, or is thinking about reaching out. This is, again, really being guided by the heart, trusting in that, the truth of their heart. They have taken time to think about this. They have evaluated this. This is not an impulsive energy here. It feels like something that has been developing for quite some time, and very almost behind the scenes, and that something has really burst forth, some kind of certainty, again, that you are the one, that you could be the one, and that this connection, these feelings are worth expressing, they are worth declaring, they are worth exploring further and in many different ways. Not just kind of theorizing about that, but it's kind of like, talking about these things, getting together, spending time with one another, kind of talking through that. What are your intentions? What are you willing to give? What do you need out of this circumstance? Wanting to kind of cover all of those bases in order to move towards something which is very mutually beneficial, mutually satisfying, and again, something that they really see, this kind of internal knowing, this intuitive knowing with the triangle here at the third eye, and then also all this cups energy, just this overwhelming love, that there is this certainty that the feelings that they have for you, they don't want to let these things pass them by, that it's time to act upon that. It's their heart is really pulling them, it's guiding them, it's calling them forward to make something known and to open the door to the potential and the possibility and the beauty and the satisfaction of what can develop between the two of you in a material sense, through co-creation, through honesty, through consistency, and through kind of the energy of revelation of those romantic feelings or declarations of love. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit now for you about this. Okay, and we have Powerful Warrior. Do not feel small. You are stronger, braver, and more valued than you know. It is time to tap into your true source of power. So this is beautiful guidance, and then with that little heart chakra just all lit up here on the hummingbird, and that really confirms, that true source of power is the power of love. And this is really encouraging you to let your heart guide you. The ego mind, fear, or even if this is someone from the past, the history that you've shared together, all those experiences can definitely cloud and should be taken into consideration, should be honored and acknowledged when dealing with kind of new information, new situations, new possibilities and potentials. But there's a lot of love that has a desire to bloom in the situation, that wants to be expressed, whether this is, kind of love for self in the form of advocating and setting boundaries with somebody. If this is open expression, kind of what your idea of love and happiness is, goals that you have, what you want to experience in partnership with another, kind of co-creating with that, expressing the truth of your feelings or even your fears or kind of hesitations. If this is somebody new that may be declaring something to you, or that you're getting ready to kind of open up to things on the next level with, you're really being encouraged to, again, trust in that, trust in your heart, trust in what you are being intuitively guided towards, taking into account, like with the Magician, those fears, those kind of experiences of the past, but trusting in the season of love which wants to open for you. Love really, it has the power to transform. It has the power to heal. It has the power to empower. And it is something which, exists in this situation in a very profound way, whether this is somebody kind of new, somebody who's just caught your eye, or somebody who will kind of be approaching you. The seeds of love are there. The potential for love is there. This has the ability to blossom and grow into something that is a very empowering connection. It is a very divine love. It is a very high level love. If this is someone from the past that may be returning, the love that they express, the vulnerability that they express, it has the potential to transform the circumstance between you. What may have really been looked at as a closed door or a complete ending has the ability to be rebirthed, to be reborn and reimagined. If this is someone from the past that maybe is, love can even be in the form of an apology. It can be, admitting wrongs. It can be, expressing gratitude even after the fact, which if you've moved on with your life, if this is not a door that you choose to open again, it can still, we can all benefit from that kind of, that vindication, from hearing that we were right, that we were valued, that we were appreciated. Even if it doesn't change the future of what kind of unfolds, there's still remedy in that. There's still that feel-good energy that everybody needs. No matter how much closure you have created for yourself, it still feels good when somebody comes back and says, you were right. Even if that's all it is, even if it goes no further than that, it can almost just be kind of that bow on top of the package. It can be that kind of final thing that allows you to sort of put that to the side, where you've been that source of healing and love and empowerment for yourself, and yet that recognition that comes in that circumstances weren't handled in the best way. Things were overlooked or undervalued. Someone was operating from kind of a closed off or distorted view of love. And to, experience that kind of openness, that full circle energy, it definitely helps. It heals. It can be the healing which is necessary for a new beginning or for that ultimate act of closure, so that you are able to rise up out of these circumstances and open your heart to a love which sees you, which is able and willing to and ready to give and receive with you in a healthy and reciprocal manner, where you don't need to try to prove your worth. It is not a situation that is, deeply triggering and kind of lessons learned by pain, but a situation which nurtures and which heals and which soothes and which you grow through positive experiences, through harmony with another, through working in tandem, working through blocks, working through fears, working through barriers, allowing that love to keep shining brighter and brighter, to uplift you both in the direction of something that is healthy and sustainable. So either way, it feels that love is on the horizon, is on the peripheral. It is definitely infused in this circumstance for whatever the nature of whoever this person is you have on your mind that you're watching this reading for. There is love there at the core. It may have been kind of a long time in being shown. It may kind of come coupled with a bit of fear, or it may be something in which a bold declaration is made, and this may be fear on your part that could cause you to almost question or want to be very defensive or uncertain about that, and you're really being guided to trust in your heart heart. Look beyond kind of that chatter of fear or the experiences of the past. Feel into the energy of things. Trust in the ability of love to transform, for love to transmute, for love to uplift, knowing you are worthy and deserving of love, and trusting in your heart's ability to seek that out and to recognize that when it comes to you. So I'm going to get some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got Z, W, F, E, Y, M, H, and C. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled love letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.